Next video in the reality transurfing series, this is going to be a quick one talking about transfer chains, which we've referenced. What are problems and control? So quick little video. We've covered in the last couple of videos really the core practices of reality transurfing. So the book compares the transfer chain, which we've already covered, and you should hopefully understand it is a series of steps that take you from where you are to the reality you want to get to. The way to relate to a series of steps is like a parent relates to the growth of a child. A parent is not like, this child needs to get to 18 years old and just obsessing over that, obsessing over this end goal. The parent is in love with the process and is looping, obsessing, visualizing the next step. It's like, we're gonna get this child to talk. We're gonna teach the child this. We're gonna teach the child this. We're gonna get the child doing these activities and skills. The parent has as the background this amazing adult they want to help facilitate. But because they want to get there, they are present, they are oriented to the process, and they are focused on the next step. They are also not obsessing over the next 10 steps that are going to lead them eventually to that person being a full-grown adult. Although they do want to create an amazing adult, they aren't too focused on that. They're focused on the next step. Once they take the next step, the next one will become a parent. They might have a mental map of what it looks like to be a good parent from 0 to 18, but they're not obsessing over that because they know that once they complete the next step, they'll figure out the one after that. They're focused on where they are. They're present. They're process-oriented, and they are enjoying and loving the process of taking that next step. So that analogy is key to understanding how to relate to transfer chains within reality transurfing. That's such a good analogy the book uses. Problems are when someone is going against the current. When you're constantly framing the things as a series of obstacles and problems, you are not understanding the nature of the game that you are playing and choosing to play. You say, oh, this is a problem because it doesn't align with my plan. This is why you cannot have a thought out, precise plan of how you want things to go. You have your end goal, but you cannot be obsessed with how you get there. You focus on the next step, and you are open to things not progressing towards that goal in the way that you might expect them to. And you're not constantly feeling like, oh, things are going wrong. Oh, this is a problem. Oh, this is an obstacle. I wish things were otherwise. I wish things weren't this way. That's because you have a plan you're attached to. And next bullet point is what I just said on accident. You cannot predict the steps. The transfer chain is going to change. That's just the reality of it. You might have this plan, but once you do a step, the next step will become apparent. But even if you think ahead, it's going to change. The transfer chain will be dynamic. It is best to be present and take joy in the next step. If you are going to jump in the ocean, you would simply focus on putting one foot in front of the other with the intention to jump in the ocean. What's the next step? Joy, presence, enjoying the process. That's another analogy for what it's like. The problem is when we relate to our goals as something that we will be happy on the other side of, that we need to do. When we're not coming up from the right way, we relate poorly to the transfer chain. So really quick video just explaining how transfer chains, problems, and control works in the context of reality transurfing. Next video is going to be exciting. We're going to get into energy and vibration, how to tap into infinite energy. And yeah, peace.